them being able to bounce back. It seems like they just have this fight in them that they didn't really have last year to struggle the way that they did. I mean, that 1-0 loss against Cleveland was so frustrating because of all the chances that they had, and to get that start from Michael Lorenzen. What do you guys really attribute that to? Just the competitiveness, the fight that this team has. They've had some comeback wins. Is it just Scott Harris being in charge and the new group they have, or is it, do you credit AJ Hinch or the players? What do you really look towards for this team's surprise competitiveness early in the season?
I think it's a certain mojo. I think everything slowly started to click. Um, I posted it today. McKinstry is batting above 300 while hitting leadoff. And I think they tried Green at leadoff, and Green kind of had a rough start to the season. They tried Maton at leadoff. Maton has had a rough year. And then McKinstry's been batting leadoff for almost 2 weeks now. And there's been the past 2 weeks of Tigers offense has been kind of weird. We haven't been used to this since probably mid 2021 when they went on that stretch in June. And there's a certain I mean, Green's hitting the ball hard to the pull side. Torkelson's getting clutch RBIs. Like, I think everything's gelling together. And
Yeah, I mean, people always say, like hitting's contagious, right? And it seems like not hitting is also contagious. That was the way the season started. That was the way last year was for the entire year. Um, People point to when Javi got benched, right? And then suddenly he's turning around. He went like 6 games without a strikeout or something like that, which is seemingly a record for him. The strikeouts came back a little bit, but he's been hitting well. Cameron mentioned Green and Torque are hitting well. McKinstry, you can't overlook the contributions from Dandy Ibanez, which is nobody saw coming, right? Like, so I do think there is. I was thinking about this the other day when I was driving. That's when I do my baseball thinking sometimes. I was like, so you got Zach McKinstry and you got Andy Ibanez. Now it's super early, and I assume Andy Ibanez is going to come back down to earth like a lead balloon at some point. But I was trying to think of like who were the random, acquisitions or minor leaguers that Alavila got that ever did anything. I was like, well, Nico Goodrum was pretty good for a year or two. Like he was okay. But after that, it was like, he's got John Hicks, who would hit some home runs. It was Brandon Dixon. Like there were guys who showed flashes, but really nothing. Like Zach McKinstry looks like a good major league player. Like he's not an all-star or whatever, but like this guy can stick around. I think like the skills he has are very useful. And Ibanez, he's hitting and playing various infield positions. So yeah, I think there's a level of competency that we're seeing from the front office right now. You don't want to make too much of it just yet, but I think that probably helps the confidence of the players. And once you start hitting the ball, you feel like, hey, we can keep doing this, and they have been. So you just got to hope that it sticks. They're facing some tough pitchers against Seattle this weekend, and that'll be a real test for them. But I don't know. They don't seem to be. I mean, Bieber kind of held them off balance, but they don't seem to be too overwhelmed by anybody they're facing these days.